So if you're following guitar YouTube, you may have noticed there's kind of a cold war raging between people who disagree about how to lay out scales on the guitar fretboard. In one corner, we have caged, solid, traditional, kind of boring. In the other corner, 3 notes a string. Very, very sure they're right. 7 position, Berkeley system. Pity these people. They've been all the way through the modern guitar method by William Leavitt. It might surprise you, as a YouTube creator, that I have, of course, a better idea. And this is something I called one-octave scale positions. Hi, welcome to Just Guitar Scrapbook. So today I'm going to talk about this way of mapping scales that I've developed. I'm sure I'm not original in doing this, but this was for me a reaction to the fact that I couldn't really do this simple exercise. So this is when you have, like, for instance, the first few bars of a 12-bar blues in F. You will play scales over that up to the 7th, and if you have time, back down again.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Over each chord. So over F7, we have the F7 scale, or F mixolydian, F dominant as I prefer to call it, just up. And then to B flat 7, F7. And this is what we would start with in improvisation class. And I used to be terrible at it. I couldn't do it at all. And I realised the reason why is because I'd laid out all my scales in these lovely traditional positions, right? And I spent hours practicing that, and that's how I'd learnt scales, but it didn't really help me when I had to shift scales quickly and access different octaves of scales when doing these Barry Harris exercises. So if you bear with me, hopefully this might help you. All over the neck, if I go for C, for instance, we have these octave positions, and you might know some of them from playing, you know, like West style stuff. But, you know, and there's other ones as well which you wouldn't use for that style of playing, like this one or this one. And they're all useful for laying out scales. So I'm going to do a handout. I'll put a link to it where I have all the major scale positions listed for these common octave positions, right? So what's the advantage of doing it this way? Well, we can move it around quicker, which is one of the biggest things. So, for instance, I've got, like, you know, these 3 major 7th chords. I can go, you know, I could also keep it more in position. But this is something that I found extremely useful for that Barry Harris exercise. There's something else which is really powerful about them as well, which is the way we can take these major scales and start to modify the notes to get different scales. For instance, if I wanted to take that C major scale and get a C dominant or mixolydian scale, I could just lower that 7th by a half step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, down a half step, flat 7. And it's always the same, any octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, same thing. Flat 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, okay. Let's take melodic minor, so we flatten the 3rd by a half step. 1, 2, 3, flat 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, flat 3, 2, 1. And now we could also refinger that if you wanted to. Probably good to practice a few different fingerings until you find one that clicks for you. So that's really useful. Harmonic major, for instance, is flat the 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 6, 7, 1, 7, flat 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we could also refinger it. Like that, for instance. So this opens up the whole range of possibilities for 7-note scales, and you can work through them all just using the major scale as a base, right? Now, you might be thinking to yourself, right, okay, so that's great, but what about if I want to play larger scales than an octave? And the answer is it's actually very easy both to extend out the scale. So if I play it from the 3rd, 1, 2, 3, and I add a couple of notes on the top, and there you go. It's perfectly easy, I find, to extend that basic position or whatever. Yeah. I really don't find that hard or complicated to do. On the other hand, it's very easy to put these octave cells together into larger shapes. You know, however you like to shift from those. The second one was kind of more of a Segovia style thing. The first one was more of a slidey. But it doesn't matter. You know, both work really well with this octave shape, you know. So anyway, that's the way I've worked on this. I found it really helpful. It's completely opened up the fretboard. It's entirely possible for me to go, you know, all the way up to here. You know, and just basically have the scales mapped out all over the fretboard, just using combinations of these octave shapes. So I'd recommend having a go at this if you've not tried it before. I found it extremely useful. And as I say, it's very good for keeping track of fast moving changes in bot progressions. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. See you on the next one.